What happens when a comedian known for sharp political satire sits down with America's sweetheart talk show host, and the conversation takes a turn no one saw coming? Well, that's exactly what just happened when Randy Rainbow had the most explosive meltdown in daytime TV history. It all started innocently enough. Kelly Clarkson welcomed Randy with her signature warm smile, while Randy's theatrical charm was on full display. The banter seemed lighthearted, until Kelly lobbed a question that shifted the energy instantly. Randy, your political parodies have become such a phenomenon, but don't you ever worry about going too far? Randy raised an eyebrow. Too far? Kelly, we're living in times where reality has already gone too far. I'm just holding up a mirror, Kelly pressed on. But some people might say your videos cross lines, especially when you target politicians so harshly. That's when the smile on Randy's face faded. Comedy has always been about pushing boundaries. That's the point. Are we seriously having this conversation right now? Kelly leaned forward. I just think there's responsibility that comes with having such a big platform. Some of your content can be divisive. Divisive? Randy shot back, his voice sharper. Calling out corruption isn't divisive, it's necessary. Are you really going to sit there and lecture me about responsibility? You host a show built on celebrity gossip and consumer culture. The audience gasped, sensing tension. Kelly's smile stiffened. I think you're misunderstanding me. No, I understand perfectly, Randy cut in. You invited me to promote my work, and now you're shaming me for the very thing that made me successful. Classic mainstream media behavior. Kelly tried to steady her tone. I'm asking legitimate questions, questions my audience would want to know. Your audience or your network executives? Randy fired back. The tension in the room was now electric. Kelly attempted to pivot. Let's move on to your upcoming projects. Oh, now you want to move on? Randy scoffed. You dragged me into an interrogation, and when I push back, suddenly it's time to change the subject. Kelly defended herself. I wasn't interrogating you. I was asking questions to spark interesting discussion. Interesting for who? Your producers, your advertisers. Because real curiosity is asking about my creative process, not whether I'm being too mean to corrupt politicians. Kelly pushed back again. But when you have millions of followers, people will ask about the impact of your message. Fine, let's talk about impact, Randy snapped. The impact of mainstream media normalizing authoritarianism by treating it like just another political opinion. The impact of sanitizing issues so they're safe for morning TV. Kelly shook her head. That's not fair. We cover serious issues all the time. Do you? Randy pressed. Or do you cover them in the most superficial way possible? Just enough to look socially conscious, without ever challenging anyone to think critically? The audience sat frozen, watching the battle unfold. Kelly tried to keep control. I think you're mischaracterizing what we do here. When was the last time you asked a question that couldn't be answered with a pre-rehearsed talking point? Randy demanded. I ask tough questions when they're appropriate. Appropriate? According to who? Your lawyers? Your advertisers? Courage doesn't fit inside those constraints. Kelly, visibly frustrated, countered, You don't know what conversations I have behind the scenes. Exactly. Behind the scenes, while the audience gets fed sanitized positivity. That's the problem. Kelly inhaled deeply, trying to reset. Look, Randy, I respect your passion, but attacking me personally isn't productive. I'm not attacking you personally. I'm criticizing a system that you're a successful part of. Big difference. But you're calling my entire show meaningless propaganda. I'm saying daytime TV has become a way to avoid real conversations. If that describes your show, maybe that's worth examining. Kelly's producers were visibly panicking behind the cameras. She tried to salvage it. I invited you because you're funny and talented, not for a lecture about the media. And I came here hoping someone in mainstream media wanted a real conversation about why comedy matters. in dark times. Clearly, I was wrong. You're making assumptions about my show that aren't true, Kelly argued. Then prove me wrong. Ask me something real. Ask me why humor is one of the last defenses against fascism, not why I'm too harsh on politicians. Fascism? Kelly raised her eyebrows. Don't you think that's a pretty extreme word? Randy's eyes widened. And there it is. You think the word is extreme, but not the actual behaviors that define it. That's the blindness I'm talking about. I just think we should avoid inflammatory language, Kelly insisted. What's inflammatory is tone policing people sounding the alarm while the house burns down, Randy shot back. The audience was dead silent now, hanging on every word. Kelly tried again. We care about these issues too. Do you? Because caring is easy. Action requires risk, and risk is bad for ratings. Are you calling everyone in media cowards? Kelly demanded. I'm saying the system makes courage nearly impossible. And yes, that includes this show and this conversation. Kelly's voice hardened. So this conversation is fake because it's on my show? No. It's happening in a framework designed to stop it from mattering. We're performing authenticity. Instead of being authentic, I'm being genuine with you right now. Really? Genuine Kelly would have real opinions. Talk show host Kelly has to stay brand safe. Which Kelly am I talking to? Kelly's jaw tightened. You know what, Randy? You're arrogant. You walk in here and attack me and my show without knowing me at all. Randy leaned in. Finally, there's some honesty. Tell me what you actually believe, not what your network allows. Kelly hesitated, clearly conflicted. I think the world is complicated. Reducing everything to good guys and bad guys makes for comedy, but not solutions. Some things aren't complicated, Randy shot back. Overthrowing an election isn't complicated. Locking kids in cages isn't complicated. Lying constantly isn't complicated. Kelly raised her voice. That kind of black and white thinking divides the country. Are you serious? You think the problem is me being too judgmental of cruelty? You think the solution is to understand fascists? I think the solution is bringing people together instead of driving them apart. You don't bring people together with fascists. You can't compromise on basic human dignity. Kelly countered. That rhetoric makes real dialogue impossible. Dialogue with people who don't believe others should have rights? That's not dialogue. That's appeasement. The audience shifted uncomfortably. Kelly raised her voice again. I'm advocating for human decency and common ground. And I'm saying human decency means standing up to bullies, not understanding them. You're putting words in my mouth, Kelly snapped. No, I'm hearing you loud and clear. You're more worried about politeness than about protecting people. That's not true. Then what is true, Kelly? Because it sounds like you want me to tone down my criticism because it's too political for daytime TV. I'm saying maybe your approach isn't as effective as you think. My approach has reached millions, helping them process trauma through satire. What's your approach accomplished? Making people comfortable? My approach has brought joy and positivity in hard times. There's a difference between joy and denial, between positivity and toxic optimism. Kelly stood up, visibly rattled. You need to check yourself. You're being disrespectful to me, my show, and my audience. Randy stood as well, eyes blazing. Disrespectful? I'm telling the truth. If that makes people uncomfortable, so be it. Kelly snapped. You don't know what I actually believe. You're making assumptions. I'm judging by what you've shown me here. You've spent this entire interview trying to shame me for having convictions. I never asked you to apologize. I asked you to consider that maybe your way isn't the only way to create change. Positive change requires naming what's wrong, not making everyone feel better about it. Kelly pointed at him. And you think mocking people solves problems? I think holding people accountable matters more than their feelings. Truth matters more than comfort. Truth, Randy. Your truth. Your interpretation. You act like it's the only one. When it comes to basic human rights, yes, there's only one right answer. Everything is a matter of perspective, Kelly insisted. No, the earth is round. Gravity exists. Overturning elections is wrong. Not opinions, facts. But how you respond to those facts is a choice, Kelly countered. And I choose urgency over pretending everything's fine. Nobody's pretending everything is fine, Kelly shouted. Then why are you policing my tone instead of talking about the actual crisis? Randy demanded. Because your approach is aggressive and divisive. Good. Some people deserve to be pushed away. Not every perspective belongs at the table. That's dangerous absolutism. Kelly shot back. No. What's dangerous is false equivalency. Acting like hatred and love are equally valid sides. Kelly's composure was gone. You're twisting my words. No. I'm showing you the consequences of tone-policing people who call out danger. You don't know anything about my values, Kelly said, her voice cracking. I know what you do on camera, and that's what matters. That's not fair. What's unfair is comedians having to tell the truth because journalists and talk show hosts won't. Randy gathered his things. Where are you going? Kelly asked, panic creeping into her voice. I'm leaving. We don't even agree on basic facts. I won't pretend your reality is equally valid. Please don't leave. We can make this constructive, Kelly pleaded. Constructive requires a foundation. We don't have one. And the fact that your only answer is, we need to heal divisions proves my point. That's not an answer. It's a talking point. And with that, Randy walked off, leaving Kelly standing on her own stage in stunned silence as the cameras captured the most dramatic walk-off in daytime TV history. So what do you think? Was Randy right to call out Kelly's approach, or did he go too far?